Alrighty, let's roll it up again. Duelist Kingdom action. And in this one, we have got Taya taking on... Oh, I've forgotten. Who was it? The other face should pop up in a moment. Too many heads floating. Too many names floating around my brain. Weevil Underwood. Taya versus Weevil Underwood. And this morning when I woke up, I actually decided to start watching the Yugioh anime from the start. Duelist Kingdom, Season 1. And I noticed a few more things about the anime that, you don't watch something for a while, then you rewatch it, and you see a few things that you didn't pick up on before. Okay, Taya has started off with red medicine. She's got Trap Hole and Hourglass of Courage right off the bat, which is an extremely good draw. You can protect Hourglass of Courage while potentially doubling its attack, especially with that Trap Hole on the field. So its attack will halve. If it stays on the field for a turn, its attack and defense will double, making a very powerful attacker. Weevil plays Flying Kamakiri number 1. And Taya straight away will flip up Trap Hole. So if Weevil can't get rid of Hourglass of Courage, he will be in trouble early on. And oh, he's got a fissure. Very lucky draw for Weevil as well. And Taya, ooh, maybe in a little bit of trouble now. She's only got Orion the Battle King, which is a 5-star monster, and a D-Spell, and there's Wing Weaver. That's even worse at 7 stars. 2750, good attack, but no summon for Taya on this turn. And there is Girochin Kawagata. That'll be 1700 off Taya. She'll be down to 6800. Again, rewatching the Yu-Gi-Oh anime as we flip turns here. God, the anime, it makes no sense. Like, the actual dueling in the anime, it's whack, man. Like, I get the feeling they may have made the show before they made the card game itself, which would make sense. But yeah, some of the dueling is like really whack, and sometimes trap cards are played as spell cards. Speaking of spell cards and trap cards, Stop Defense is one of them. I got up to the duel where Yugi faces Ghost or Fate Kaiba, and he plays Defense Paralysis as a trap card, but it's actually just a Stop Defense. It just continues on. And alright, Taya did draw Doriado, that's now destroyed. Basic Insect came to the field. There's Ancient Elf, and Taya's struggling here. She's up against a 1700 attack. I think Taya's strongest 4-star is Dark Elf, which does require 1000 points of your own life points to attack. Basic Insect is destroyed. Weevil down to 7050, Taya at 5800. And staring down more life point loss here as well. There's Komutoko. Alright, Ancient Elf is destroyed and Taya gets directly attacked. She's down to 4850. One of the more humorous scenes, which I remember the scene, I just remember it being in a less dramatic context. It's after Weevil has thrown Yugi's Exodia off. Taya, she went with the Dark Hole, and Weevil has flipped up Magic Jammer. He's got all the answers in this one. So yeah, it was after Weevil threw Yugi's Exodia off the side of the boat, and Joey decided to jump in after it. You've then got this dramatic scene where Yugi jumps in after Joey, who is just about to go under the water to his watery grave. As we see, alright, this is 2400, that's coming off of Taya altogether, so she's down to 2450. And alarm bells ringing. Does she have anything to play? Oh, damn! Taya has drawn an absolute brick in this. Weevil was probably going to pick up the win on this turn. So you got this dramatic scene. Yugi's Exodia cards are in the ocean. Joey's now in the ocean. Now Yugi's in the ocean. And right at that part, Taya and Tristan come along and they throw the ladder down for Yugi and Joey to get back up, and they skip the scene of them somehow climbing up a ladder that's made out of rope out of the ocean onto a massive cruiser, which in real life would be difficult for even the most fit people in the world, if you think about it. But, okay, Taya survived. She's down to 50 points. And, oh, if she drew that Magician of Faith a turn earlier. Damn. But, it won't matter now anyway. Damn, if Magician of Faith was drawn... Oh, no, it still wouldn't have really mattered, would it? Because he would have still had to try and defend against an attack. Weevil picks up the first match, and we will set them up again in this best of 3. Alright, so right after Tristan and Taya throw the ladder down, the scene cuts, and it just goes to Rex Raptor flying out of a room, followed by Mai's boot. And she just goes, "Get out, loser." And thanks for the room, Rex, and just drops his bag next to him. You've got this really dramatic scene of a near-death experience, followed by this comedic one of Rex Raptor getting booted out of a room. And then it flips straight back to the dramatic part where Joey starts revealing his affliction with his sister, who he is trying to win the tournament's prize money for. Alright, Weevil starts off with Big Insect. We're looking from his perspective. So, yeah, where I stopped before I eventually fell asleep. I got halfway through the Yugi and fake Kaiba duel. The episode cuts with Yugi's just used Magical Hat, and the Blue Eyes White Dragon's White Lightning is like hurtling towards Yugi, and that's where the episode cuts. So that's where I'm up to. It also had the Yugioh song "I'm Back" as well. It's a little song that plays as Kaiba's making his grand return. That's actually a really good song. Like, Yugioh had some absolute banger songs in the anime. Alright, Weevil gone for the attack. He's got Big Insect, and he has got Giant Scorpion of the Tundra. And, oh, Witch of the Black Forest, 1200 defense. That will hold strong. And Taya will have to watch out though. She has to get something off the field because Weevil's got that metal armored bug. And it's Winged Egg of New Life, which is a 1400. Witch of the Black Forest will activate as well. Out of these two duelists, Weevil has only won one match. Taya has done quite well. I think she's maybe 4th or 5th in the standings. Dark Elf has come to Taya's hand. So on paper, you would think that Taya would win this match. However, she did just lose the first match. Alright, Big Insect is destroyed. That's why I love this series. You never know who's going to win. Any duelist can win on their given day, even if they've played poorly the whole thing. Okay, Weevil goes for Dark Hole. Gets Winged Egg of New Life off the field as well. He has got Blade Fly, which will get to 1100 with its effect. So Taya will be down to 6900, Weevil at 7800. And as I'm watching the anime, I got to thinking, what was the best duel throughout the Duelist Kingdom season? Alright, as we see Dark Elf get played, so Taya will do 900 points of damage but take 1000 herself. However, she does have... Oh no, No, hang on. It's weird how it does that. Yu-Gi-Oh flips it back straight to its original points as it's getting destroyed. That always throws me when it does that. Kumitoko in defense mode, so while Dark Elf is good, it does require 1000 points to attack, so it is very expensive. But yes, what was everyone's favourite duel in the Duelist Kingdom season? Mine... I quite like the one with Yugi and Mako. That was always one that I quite enjoyed watching. The Ghost Kaiba one was really good too. Joey and Bones' was really good. Yugi's one with Bakura in the Shadow Realm, that was quite good as well. That was that was a nice change of pace because we always had duels going for star chips, but this one we actually got to see the characters as their favourite duel monsters. That was a creative duel. That one. Alright, there's Monster Reborn for Weevil, and he may have no choice but to play it to defend his life points. What do you do here if you're Weevil? Do you wait a turn? Or then again, waiting a turn doesn't really... can't really do anything for him because he needs 2 monsters on the field to get Metal Armored Bug to the field. So he has played Monster Reborn and selects Winged Egg of New Life, which is 1400. He will at least be able to get rid of Eldine with that, and Weevil does still have life point advantage. He will get attacked, but remember Taya does have to pay 1000 for Dark Elf. As we see Eldine destroyed, Taya down to 4450. Of all of the duels in the Duelist Kingdom one, as we see Goblin Secret Remedy, the least entertaining one, I would say, was probably the Yugi and Pegasus one through the videotape. That one got a little bit silly in the end because Yugi was about to win. But it was also, I don't know, it just wasn't that entertaining of a match. More talking and more story revelation more than anything, so I would probably pick that for the worst one. We see Winged Egg of New Life, it's destroyed. Taya's down to 3450, but she's slowly closing the gap. And Weevil only with Metal Armored Bug in his hand now. Oh, Forest would have been helpful earlier. Weevil plays it anyway. Taya's got 2800 points of attack on the field. The duel between Mai and Joey wasn't bad, but that was also not quite as good as some of the others because Joey spent half of it fumbling around trying to figure out how Mai was being psychic. It was still a good duel, but not as entertaining as some of the ones we got. The Paradox Brothers one was really good with the tag duel. That comes... So what comes next after Yugi and Fake Kaiba? I think it's Rex and Joey. Alright, Weevil down to 1250, 700 more. So Weevil now at 550 and Taya at 2450. So she could only attack twice more with Dark Elf. And Insect Armor with Laser Cannon. That would have been helpful earlier on for Weevil. And it looks like this one might be done. Indeed it is. We will be at 1-1 after this. And Taya's Dark Elf was at 2500 with the effect of Black Pendant. And 2450 down to 1450. Weevil down to 0. And he is beaten. And we will go to a tiebreaker match for this season point. Seen a good match so far. Alright, let's call him in again. We'll flip back over to Taya's perspective. Alright, Taya wins rock, paper, scissors and elects to go first. So, do I remember it correctly? Yes. So Yugi and Ghost Kaiba square off, and then straight after that, that's when Mai goes looking... Oh, she's laying on the grass, and then Rex Raptor wants to duel her. And then it ends up being Rex Raptor versus Joey. I'm pretty sure that's next. And Joey will win Red Eyes after that. Alright, Weevil goes with a face down and another face down. Taya's got a face down defense. And Weevil plays Flying Kamakiri number 2. That's a 1500, one of his better 4-star monsters to come straight off the bat. Weevil attacks Witch of the Black Forest, so Taya will be able to activate its effect, possibly calling Dark Elf again. It is the best choice. So what happens after Rex and Joey? After he's won that red ice, I think what comes after that, I think it's that little mini duel between Kyber and Joey with the dual disc. And oh, Weevil's flipped a trap hole on Dark Elf. So Taya's trump card from the last match is now gone, and she will be undefended for this turn. But no, Season 1 is such a nostalgic season. If you were a kid growing up in Australia, you would remember Yu-Gi-Oh being on Cheese TV. Cheese TV was like it was a 3-slot cartoon show with little segments in between by the hosts, and as a kid in Australia, it is the most iconic piece of nostalgia that you have from your childhood. Every morning when you wake up, if you wake up too early, there was this aerobics show that was on, morning aerobics, and straight after that, the intro to Cheese TV would cut in, and your morning would be good until you had to go to school. And then as soon as the lunch and recess breaks come up in school, the talk of the schoolyard, if it wasn't something about Pokemon and someone finding Mew underneath the truck, it would be about Cheese TV and the episode of Dragon Ball Z that was on, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or the Pokemon episode, etc. We have just seen Empress Mantis destroy Maiden of the Moonlight. Goddess of Whim has just been drawn. And Taya on the back foot now. Weevil has got Empress Mantis on the field, and that's going to be tough to get rid of. It's a 2200 attack. What's more, I don't think Taya has drawn a single one of her equip cards all match. And she's got a few of them in her deck. If I'm just going to point that out, I don't think Taya has drawn any equip cards. Fairy Witch is destroyed, and now 2200 points. Taya's in trouble. She's in huge trouble. She could lose to a duelist that's won 1 game out of 8. And it's Soul of the Pura. And now Girochin Coagata and Empress Mantis. And a Magic Jammer. That's just more dismay for Taya. And she's got Goddess of Whim, but you have to call a coin toss right, and its attack can be halved. Sorry, doubled. I mean, I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. It's like, you know when you have that sneeze and it's like right there in your nose, but it just doesn't quite come out. Anyway, Taya has no choice. If she loses this coin toss, that's pretty much game over. And she's gone with a tail, and it never fails. Goddess of Whim up to 1900, and the funny thing is that Tails fails 50% of the time. Alright, Girochin Coagata is done. Taya has, although Goddess of Whim will go back to 950, but she did get an attacker off the field. And Weevil counters with a basic insect. And now down to 4450, and it will be 3950 total for Taya after that attack. Weevil's still at 7,000. He's looking in prime position here to pick up a win. And it's a shock win too if Taya wasn't drawing terrible. Like, she has not drawn a hand really worth anything in this whole match. She needed more of her equip cards. I have not seen a single equip card drawn out of Taya's deck this whole match. She's got Fairies Light. She's got that Kestis of Dagla, Silver Bow and Arrow. She's got plenty of them in there. Just hasn't been lucky enough to draw them. And that's what we learned in one of the first episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! When Joey's like, "Why can't I ever win? You teach me what I'm doing wrong." And he's like, "Joey, your deck's filled with nothing but monster cards." And there's Petite Moth. Oh, and it's equipped with Cocoon of Evolution. So that will be in attack mode. But Taya... only with one monster, which is about to get destroyed. She's down to 3,200 life points, and she only has a Breath of Light in her hand. Oh, this is really something. And she has drawn Magician of Faith. Has she played any... And she's actually summoned it in face-up attack. I don't think she's got any... She hasn't... The only magic cards she's played are those 2 life point recovery cards, and they're not really worth anything. You have to get... Otherwise, Weevil's going to evolve a perfectly ultimate Great Moth. Yeah, we will put this one down to Taya drawing absolutely horrendous cards. But that is the way Yu-Gi-Oh goes when you're not playing against an AI that's programmed to draw the cards for its deck function. When we play Yu-Gi-Oh in the real world, we are subject to random chance, and that is what happens when you play multiplayer on this. Although sometimes a few duels in a row, the game does sort of give you the same cards. So that might be a random number generator thing. Anyway, Spirit of the Harp has been played. Even that field card where it would increase all of her defense monsters by 500. Chorus of Sanctuary, I think it's called. Even that would have been useful, but Taya has just lost Spirit of the Harp. She'll go down to 50 points again. She had 50 points in the first duel as well. Weevil's at 5750. He's comfortable, and we could be seeing a shock upset here. Oh my word. Well, that will do it. Taya has drawn one of the most absolute brick hands throughout the entirety of the first and third match. And amazingly, Weevil Underwood is going to pick up his second win of the season against a pretty good opponent. And there we have it. Empress Mantis finishes the job. Taya down to 0, and Weevil picks up the win. Alrighty, let's have a look at who's playing in the next match, along with Battle City. As I flip this up, I had to restart my PC, so now everything's been misplaced. There we go. Weevil defeated Taya. So the next match is Pegasus against Mako, and that should be a pretty interesting match. These are some of these Duelist Kingdom ones we didn't get to see. Joey vs. Panic as well. Keith against Bones. These are the matches that we never got to see in the anime. Let me quickly flip over to Battle City. Who is playing in Battle City? Battle City, it is Arcana against Strings to close out that round. So Rare Hunter versus Rare Hunter. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Let's go get that produced and set ready to upload in what will be a few hours. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe, keep well, farewell.